Hi, what I'm going to do today is assemble the best, hopefully the best brioche bread that you'll ever taste. And unlike traditional French brioche bread, which has enormous amounts of milk and butter, this is actually much less saturated with those items, so you can actually eat quite a lot more before you become too gross. Anyway, let's hit on with the ingredients. The ingredients are basically flour, and for this one I've got a Waitrose organic, which is fine, and butter, and some caster sugar, not too much, you'll notice, 2 eggs to mix with the butter, and also another egg from which you make some wash to coat on top of the bread. It gives it that sort of gleaming brown gloss when you bake it. And of course the other ingredient we're going to need is some dried yeast. I use between 7 and 10 grams of dried yeast, and this particular one is by Allinson's, but to be honest, as long as you get any decent make, that will be fine. And the other key ingredient, which I'll measure out later, is some milk, which is about 175 grams of milk. So all these ingredients I'm going to put up on the screen, and first of all I'm going to combine the milk with the butter. Now, often they say you should mix the butter with the flour by hand, but that's a very time-consuming, tedious and unnecessary process. So what I tend to do, and it works perfectly, is I put the milk in the saucepan, I then melt the butter in the saucepan gradually and slowly, and that way, as long as it doesn't curdle, you can then mix the flour directly with it. And we add the other ingredients as we finish off that process of mixing, but you'll see that in a minute. Now in a separate bowl, we add the flour, yeast and salt and mix them all together. Now it's time to add the milk and the 2 eggs. It's best to make a slight impression in the centre of the flour mix, and then pour in the milk, and then crack in the eggs, and then gently stir it together from the centre outwards. Once you've made that connection, you can then stir it quite briskly and quite aggressively, because you want to make it more of a solid mix.